Listen to me, when you're able to treat failure and success the same way, you are truly an unconquerable man or woman. Because the tendency when you fail is to be hard on yourself, to criticize yourself, and that can discourage you to the point where you no longer take action. And then you have a negative view of yourself, because the tendency sometimes is to link failures to our personality. So if this thing failed, that means I'm a failure. And the tendency when you succeed is to also say, well, I did that. That's me. And that inflates your ego. And then an inflated ego could be something that hinders your success. So once you're able to treat failure and success in the same way, you are truly an unconquerable man or woman. When you fail and you're able to bow down to the process and say, thank you for that, I'll go at it again tomorrow. And also when you succeed, you also say, thank you for that, I'll go at it tomorrow again. Then basically you've treated both of them the same. What I tend to see usually is that people, when they fail, they're so hard on themselves, and that discourages them, that causes them to give up. And there are other people, when they succeed, they become comfortable, and their hunger and their drive kind of dies, or their ego gets the best of them, and now they think they're hot shit. And then, no matter how hot you think you are, there's always going to be someone or something or some event that's going to humble you. Once you get to that stage where you treat both of them the same way, you're a truly unstoppable person. Because the biggest risk to your success is you and the way you think. If you are really hard on yourself when you fail, then that's the risk of failure. And also, I tell people a lot of times when I'm working with these big Fortune 100 companies, I tell them the biggest risk to your success right now is that you're succeeding. The biggest risk to your success is your success. Because I've seen this so many times, and it's happened to me, is that you're willing to go through the suffering and the pain to get out of the funk that you're in. And then once you reach a level of success, then you're not motivated as much as you used to be. Now you're comfortable, now you're complacent. Success brings with it the risk of complacency. And the antidote to that is not to hold on to your success anymore, because what happened to me was I worked so hard to get out of being homeless at some point. And then I gained a lot of success. I went from being in debt to making $100,000 the next year. And I worked so hard. But now I was afraid of being broke, and I was afraid of losing everything. And now all of my energy was consumed on trying to protect the level of success that I had. But the antidote for that is not to protect what you have, because if you're using all of your energy to protect what you have, then now you're playing the game not to lose instead of playing the game to win. The antidote to that is to raise the ceiling even higher. What I usually do is I 10x what I've already achieved. So every year I sit down and I say, what did I achieve last year? So this year we're gonna have to 10x it. Because the risk for me, I know myself, I get complacent when I succeed. So, with time, you get humbled. Now when I fail, it doesn't really get the best of me anymore. I just say, well, that's part of the process. We'll go at it again tomorrow. And then when I succeed, it's good to celebrate. I do celebrate. In the past, I didn't celebrate as much. But now I do celebrate, and I say, well, thank you very much. We're going to go at it again tomorrow. And then you repeat the process. You stick to what got you here. What got you here was hard work. What got you here was commitment. What got you here was unrelenting, unwavering commitment. And you hold on to that, whether it's failure or whether it's success.